Okay, a very good evening and welcome to the Business and Enterprise Show with Hugh here on Cavan TV on this rather dark but lovely and dry Cavan weather. Two ladies this evening for my programme. I had to find something that was really business and enterprise, and on the research I came across two great ladies that are running a fantastic business in relation to slimming. Ladies, good evening.
How are you doing?
Good evening.
I'll have to ask Sarana how you pronounce the name.
You have it pronounced right.
Sarana McGovern.
That's correct.
And Katrina McCabe. And these two ladies run the Slimmingworld, so it's a very sensitive subject, and I'm going to talk very sensitive about it. So we were in the green room there, or in the waiting room area, and we were talking all about what you can ask and what you can't. So I just said to them, when we get on air, you'll do all the talking, ladies. Away you go. Right, Sarana, I'll talk to you first. Give us a bit of background to how you came to set it up.
Well, I first had a weight problem myself, and of course I tried everything under the sun. So Slimmingworld came to the local area, and that's where I started off, and to lose my weight of over 2 stone.
Right.
So of course there was lots of people coming from the Cavan area.
Mm-hmm. And sorry, where is Sarana? You're from yourself?
I'm from Kinally.
In Fermanagh, yeah,
yes.
And that's where you came across the actual the concept
Slimmingworld
first.
itself, yeah.
Very good.
So
I'm sorry, how long ago was that? How long are you involved?
I joined it in September 2007.
Okay, very good. So you have a good few years' experience.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I'm still a member within that group. So I got the opportunity to become a consultant myself, and having the experience of it. And of course I decided to bring it to Cavan, because lots of men and women were coming from the Cavan area down
to your area,
to our area,
to your group.
Of course, to lose weight. So that's
and did Katrina come to you via the Cavan or through the Fermanagh connection?
No, Katrina was it the Monaghan?
Yes.
Monaghan.
Katrina, yeah, you run a slimming class as well yourself.
I do. I run the group in Belturbet in the railway station on Tuesday evening, and I discovered Slimmingworld in Ballybay a year ago there in April, and at first I didn't believe it was true that I could eat all this food and have fries for my breakfast and still lose weight, and it has been through every bit of it, and it's been a fantastic journey so far.
Now, we'll say, I want to have you on that. Just talk us to the different type of foods that you're allowed, or how people differentiate those that don't know. As you see, I'm not a great candidate for Slimmingworld. Right? Someone says that you're too mean to buy food. I just say I can't afford it. But thankfully, I don't. I generally stay in around the 12 stone. But for those that, the different foods, like to me, every food is the same, but obviously some put on more weight. Just go into a little bit of detail on that.
Members eat what we call free food. The majority of the food they eat is free food, which is everyday tasty, healthy foods. So you fill your plate up with lean meat, pasta, rice, even your potatoes are all free, eggs, fat-free dairy products, and all of that. So there's a huge variety of foods there that are free foods.
When you say free foods, are free of?
Free in that you can eat as much of them as you want, that you don't have to weigh or measure any of these foods, and you incorporate your vegetables and your fruit into that as well.
And are they clearly, for someone that is dealing with the issue of overweight, are they clearly marked in supermarkets? Or is it in the group you learn how to do that?
It's in the group you learn how to do that. All the foods is listed in the book. So you have your fruit and your vegetables, and you have then your lean meat, your fish, your poultry, your pasta, your rice, grains, all of that. There's something like 350 foods out there that is classed as free food, as in that you don't have to weigh or measure them. So the majority of the food that you're eating, you don't have to weigh or measure or count it, and you can eat your fill. So therefore you've no hunger, no hassle. Now
I'll come back to another aspect of it there, the carbohydrates, in a moment. But I'm going to ask Sarana, how many is involved in it in Ireland? Approximately how many members in Ireland, on the island, north and south? Approximately how many groups, like?
Well, in Cavan
Yeah.
alone, there are 9 groups.
9 groups.
Within the Cavan area.
So ratioed out, that's probably 250, 300 groups.
Yeah,
That sort of,
you're talking
throughout
about over,
Ireland. Yeah,
the Republic of Ireland, yeah.
And the average amount of people, is there a higher amount of people in some groups than others? Is there any, or is there an average? Does it run at 50 to 100 to whatever?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, with myself there in Cavan, I run it on a Tuesday in the Cavan Crystal, and I have over 200 members coming to me on a Tuesday alone.
Say that again.
I've over 200 members coming to me.
Oh, jeez, we must be real gluttons in Cavan for the food altogether.
Yes, they're like us Fermanagh people. We love our food,
yes,
you know.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic to be able to see, and you can just see the members.
That's approximately 200. Well, I'm going to suggest that there's possibly a few people in our backroom team, that we're going to suggest to them that I wouldn't look specifically at anybody. It'd be rather libelous to say any names here at this point, but there's definitely one or two, that they'll be telling us how to talk on air, and in the back room we're going to introduce you afterwards, right? Which you can definitely do them a favour. It's I suppose we could call it training. I get training here in TV presentations, so we'll be able to give a little bit back then. Coming back to the numbers, 200 and how many in a group on roughly?
70 to a group,
Right, maximum. That's
maximum is
right.
70, yeah.
And you just to keep on the thing about the group, and you do have some men as well.
Yeah,
I thought Slimmingworld was all ladies. Genuinely,
men needed as much as women,
Right.
And myself there in Cavan, in one of the groups, I have 5 men in one class, and 4 of them have diabetes.
Okay.
So it's a major health issue that Slimmingworld is going to help them to. Many of them men have now reduced their diabetes tablet intake due to eating healthy foods and forming this relationship.
And that's why I invited you on this evening, because when I came across it doing the research, it actually is a business in itself throughout Ireland. It's a you run it from a commercial that you have to cover costs and all that, but it's one thing that there's always people
there's always people. You've got
need the service
coming up to Christmas now. People who want to be getting into that little black dress or whatever it is, and feeling good. So.
And come back when we were talking there prior to the show, you were saying about the children. That's an issue with. Just explain to me that again. The numbers in relation, or we say
11 to 15-year-olds can come to any of our groups for free once they're accompanied with their parent or guardian. Because a lot of our children are overweight, and it's to do with, of course, convenience foods available out there, and it's learning them the healthier way of eating. And that it'll be with them for life, Yeah,
Katrina, I'm going to coming back to you now. In relation to, is the men not embarrassed about going to slimming with the ladies?
Not a bit. When I opened group in January, on my second night there, my first man joined the group.
Yes.
And he has since went on to lose 6.5 stone, and he never misses meeting, and he stays. And he's a fantastic inspiration.
He lost 6.5 stone in what period of time approximately?
From the 12th of January.
Yeah,
from the 12th of January, so he's lost 6.5 stone weight.
Fantastic,
absolutely fantastic, and loves it. He's a new man, you wouldn't know him.
Yeah.
Members have actually walked in and said, that they didn't actually recognise him, people that would have known him.
And from a point of view, if they deviate from that, we say, or stop going to the class, you lose that, or is there a tendency to go back on the...
Yeah, well, we recommend our members stay to their target weight, and this is one of the reasons why Slimmingworld is unique, because members choose their own target weight, a target weight that they're happy with. And when members reach that target weight, then they can come to any Slimmingworld group free for life once they stay within 3 pounds of their chosen target weight.
Give me that again. So they can come to...
Group
very
free,
interesting, that point.
Free for life.
Yes.
Once you get to your target weight, bearing in mind that this is a target weight that the member has chosen for themselves, so we don't dictate what weight anybody should be. So once somebody gets to their target weight, they're a member free for life, and that keeps members motivated and interested and helps keep them on track.
And from a point of view of a target weight? You know, who sets that? We'll say when someone walks in the door, they're 20 stone, for example. You know, or 18 or 20. Some cases higher than 20 stone. Who actually determines? How do you figure out what is the right weight for some person for a person like that?
There is a chart in the book which is a height weight ratio chart, and it's colour coded. So if you have a look at that, and if you're in the red range and you want to get down into the yellow, into the healthy range, you know, so you have a look at that yourself and you choose that target for yourself. We don't tell anybody what weight they should be.
Yeah. So Rana, I'm going to come back to you there. You have a brochure there with you, just to explain to us. It's very well presented, and all you know about the tips in it there. Just go through a few of the. Hold up the brochure there, just up to the camera. Yeah, that's lovely. Just so hold it there. Hold it on there.
This is one of the booklets that come with the pack, you know.
Yes. Okay.
And it'll go through, you know, different answers to questions members might have about it, you know. And of course, explaining about the importance of our group support.
Yeah, very good.
You know, which is
we'll just go on that one that you have there at the moment, because it looks lovely, healthy. So we could talk for until 11 o'clock, and I know the people in the back room, as I say again, I'd love that we would, because they'd be picking up a lot of tips.
Yes.
But the lack of that sort of stuff there, that salad, just talk us through that one there.
Well, I mean, in your salad you can have your chicken or your meat, you can have your potatoes in it with your lovely green lettuce, your scallions, tomatoes, you can have eggs. You know, it's a full meal in itself, you know, that's going to keep you full and keep you going throughout the day, you know, till your next meal. You know, it's not just 3 meals a day. It's having snacks throughout the day. For me, like myself, Hugh, I'm like the cow in the field, as the man says. I like to graze the whole day long, you know. So for many of us, that's the situation, you know. And so keeping snacking throughout the day on your fruit or whatever it is, you know.
So and there's when you join, how much is it actually to join? We didn't.
The joining fee on your first night is €18. And then every week after that is 9.
Yeah, very reasonable. Very, you know, and you get a pack, complete food.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but and what is the key things? We'll say, for example, we're great getting the pack, getting the brochures, the whole lot. But when you go back home and the temptation there, what is the key? What is the key things that keep a person motivated in slimming?
Well, the group support itself gives you that motivation, because you're giving yourself that hour a week, and so you're learning tips and ideas from all the other members that are within the group.
Okay.
And then you take it home with you and you try out different recipes, and the whole family can enjoy it as well, you know.
Yes.
And I think on what Katrina said about the target, you know, when we're not setting a target, it's what they want to achieve themselves. It mightn't necessarily be a stone or 2 stone. It could be just to get into a dress size smaller or whatever.
Yes.
You know, and it's of course you know, keeping with that then throughout the week, you have the support online as well, because once you become a member, you can access the website freely.
Yes.
Slimmingworld website, which gives you motivation and inspiration from other members throughout the UK from where it first started, you know.
And from a point of view of, we say, when you have a large number of that, whether it's 50 or 60 in the group, would they stay in touch, you know, outside the slimming
throughout
thing?
The week,
you know, is there much interaction, group interaction?
After group, we would support them throughout the week.
Okay.
You know, if members are struggling, we can identify that and give them a call, or members are free to ring us or text us throughout the week.
Okay.
So they have that extra support between their groups as well.
Yeah. Carbohydrates, explain to me which carbohydrates, you know, what on food, is that...
Well, what types of food, Hugh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, your potatoes for one, your pasta, your rice, they're fulfilling foods, you know, that are going to keep you fuller for longer. And then with them, you know, you can create lovely meals. Like for me, I love to have chips.
Yes.
Do you know, and chips is a real family favourite for children as well, you know. So you make your own chips from potatoes just.
Yes.
It's simple, you know.
Oh, so as opposed to they have less less carbohydrates, is it? What I mean is, what's the difference in them and the chips that you buy in the shop?
Well, there's going to be the chips that you buy in the shop. They're going to have additives and preservatives and everything in them to keep them. Do you know?
Yes, and that's what contributes toward the weight gain.
Absolutely. Yeah, the quick, convenient way. Put them in the deep fat fryer. No need to do that. Cut your spud and put them in the oven and
Now, myself, when we were talking there, and Katrina was filling me in on the different dress sizes and all that, which again is, I will not go into the experience you told me back before we came on air about what she gets up to in the shops, and but coming back, it's a very sensitive for a lot of ladies. Would there be, what actually would motivate a lady to go to a slimming club as regard, if they were embarrassed about the weight? Is it?
Well, for me personally, I can only speak from my own personal experience, and for me it was a shopping experience which absolutely I will take with me to me day and day, where I went into a shop and I could not get clothes to fit me.
Okay.
I was looking for size 22 clothes, and what the crowning moment for it was, I bought a dress and I took it home, and I bought it solely because it fitted me. I absolutely detested it, and I hated it. I went back the next week and I bought it in another colour. I hated it, but I was that desperate that I couldn't get clothes to fit me, and that low, and I just thought there has to be a better way than this, and I found Slimmingworld, and I've never looked back.
And how long ago was that, Katrina, since you joined? 1997.
17 months.
Yes, right. Very good. You're heading for 2 years. You're heading for 2 years now. Yeah.
And I've lost 3.5 stone in that year. Less than a year and a half. About a year and a half.
Heading for a year and a half. Yeah. So, but there's still, I suppose, it's still a big issue. It's still a big issue. Dress sizes and functions and all that.
It is. Yes, it is. I mean, we all like to look good when we go out, and it had come to the stage
some
where
of us have
to
make no effort,
no effort whatsoever. And we all like to look good when we went out, and it was really only in June this year when I attended a local function in my own home parish, and I knew I had lost the weight, but I couldn't see it in myself. And when I went to that, and loads of people complimented me and told me how well I was looking, and it's when you hear things like that you realise that. It was only when I looked back and I saw photographs of myself taken that I realised I actually had to look at them twice and see, is that me? Now, I'm still not at my target weight. I'm still on my weight loss.
Well, you're looking well anyway.
Thank you very much. All compliments.
I have to say the right thing. No, but it's working for you. And there's someone to take, either of you can deal with this one, but the thing is, when you get that into your household, obviously it filters through to family members as well, whether it's husband, partner, or children, grandparents or whatever, so just explain to me again, how does it, how hard is it to get people like me that maybe is not in Slimmingworld to adjust to a change of diet in house with someone that is?
It's fabulous, tasty, healthy meals that you're creating. So you're doing stir fries and soups and stews and everyday family favourites, and that all the family can enjoy and all the family can benefit from. And it's something that we encourage our members to do, is to not be cooking one meal for themselves and another for the rest of the family. We encourage our members to cook one tasty, healthy meal for all the family to enjoy.
Yeah. Coming back to the business aspect of it, if someone's watching this, we'll say tonight, people that are watching it, and thankfully you have a huge viewership on Cavan TV, but if there's someone on it is thinking from, to start a group, they have to be within having done and lost. Is there a set target that they have to have lost? How do you qualify to be... what's the word? A promoter? The word that you...
Consultant.
Consultant, sorry. that's the word I'm looking for, yeah. How do you... take us through it again.
From being a member yourself.
Yes.
That's the way that you will become a consultant. Slimmingworld team will not take on somebody that hasn't been through the journey themselves, because the consultant then will know exactly how each member is coming through their door. They've been there, they've been on the journey, and they're with it all the time, So they know exactly how someone is feeling. And if you are out there and you are feeling that you've tried so many things before and it's failed for you to give Slimmingworld a chance, go online, www.slimmingworld.ie, find where your local group is. Don't be afraid, get your foot through the door. That's the biggest step you can make. There's always a welcome in any group for you with Slimmingworld.
Where did Slimming World originate? Where did the concept?
UK.
Okay.
It came from the UK first 43 years ago.
43 years ago.
Yeah. It was a Lady Margaret Miles Bramwell, a marvellous lady, founded it all those years ago, and she struggled like all of us with her weight, and like that she tried everything, and then she decided to create this plan herself. So she lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, and she started weighing herself every week from working through these everyday healthy foods. And then she started to let her family and friends know, so they started to come to her house to weigh in, and then there was no mobile phones or anything all them many years ago.
Yes.
And this is where it all originated from.
Yeah, and alongside in Ireland, and who would have been responsible?
Consultants. It first came to Northern Ireland from the UK.
Yes.
And the way they brought it there was through online, Slimmingworld Online. And then members from Northern Ireland were members online, and then they became consultants from that and were able to open groups within Northern Ireland. Okay. So it's been running in Northern Ireland now for over 5 years, and last year in 2011 it was voted the #1 slimming organisation in Northern Ireland.
Very good.
So it's a fantastic achievement, and it came to Cavan the Republic then over 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years, that's well, I've seen, you see so many, of the various different ones. I need to say, you're going to say that Slimming World is the best, yeah? But I mean, for someone that doesn't use it, and in many countries is it in, how far out has the franchise developed in that time, around worldwide I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, at the moment we've just launched out in America, and our campaign started on Monday, and it's...
I just want to go on to that, yeah. And explain that to me, yeah.
Lend a Hand is what the campaign is called, because we're trying to reach out to America. It is estimated by the year 2048, because of the obesity epidemic in the USA, that America is going to be dying because of this. Because of the health issues that it's, being overweight impacts,
Now, I want to come back to Katrina here, and I want you to say this slowly, Katrina, right, that we'll get the grasp of this. You told me earlier on about the statistics of how much weight we have lost. Is it in Cavan?
Yeah, just
one. And I know you know this, so...
statistic is, in the month of September, Slimming World members in Cavan, between them, have lost 244 stone in 1 month.
Say it again.
In the month of September, the members in Cavan have lost between them 244 stone.
Well, it definitely has to be. Will we blame the flour? Will we blame what will we blame for it? But 244
stone. And don't ask me that in pounds, because I'm no.
But that's it.
That's in 1 month.
1 month alone.
And like there's 9 groups in Cavan. There's groups in Arva, Ballyjamestuff, Belturbet, Cavan, Cotill, Kingscourt and Virginia.
Very good.
And apologies if I left anybody out.
No, but I mean, put it this way: anybody that's interested enough, when they see the brochures, when they come across it and they're watching it tonight, I mean, it's easy to get all online, So but there's one thing, picking the positive from that, it really shows that people are concerned. With the weight, and that that they're prepared to make an effort, because apart from, as you mentioned earlier on, the clothes, and men have the same problems as well. They want to they're conscious of appearance, and whether it's work now or going for job interviews, which a lot of people are, men included. If you're going with 4 or 5 stone hanging on the front, it doesn't. There's no place you can hide it. It's not really something that you can conceal very easily, and so it's very important from a jobs interview point of view. Now, the family, the activity. Come back to me on that one. We were talking about that.
Along with the healthy eating aspect of it, we do encourage our members to take on a little bit of activity. Now, when we say activity, it's not joining a gym, or they can do that if they want to, but it's something as simple as washing the windows, or taking the dog for a walk, or getting active with the children,
Yes, and which is very important, and it keeps the mindset and it contributes to it. Yeah. Now, I'm glad to report that the backroom team are very concerned and are very interested in Slimming World, because they now tell me that it's just under the amount of stones we have lost in Cavan is just 3,500 right? 3,500 pounds it converts to, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, hopefully we'll have digital equipment for the next show and it'll come out in K, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But all cutting aside, it's very, all joking aside, it's a very relevant subject and it's very serious. Now, I want to come on to, you mentioned just, and I know it maybe not completely your field, but diabetes,
Yeah.
you know, it for people, you know.
Well, I have 7 to 10 men in my group in Cavan alone, and there are ladies there as well that suffer from diabetes, and it is due to being overweight. 7 of them men yesterday evening, I just discovered 4 of them. You know, it's a statistic in itself. 4 men with diabetes, like, you know.
Yes.
And these men that have joined with myself, like the ladies,
Yes.
their medication has reduced their sugar levels in the first week of eating healthy, balanced food. Their doctors are amazed with the results that they're showing. Their sugar levels have levelled off and they're steady now.
Well, very good. And Katrina, come back to the Belturbet group. Is that in the time that you're running the Belturbet group? Has that built up to that number, or did that number come in the very beginning? And what way does numbers go in a new group in relative?
Numbers fluctuate. I would have between 50 to 60 members on average. On average every week.
Yes.
You get new members in all the time. You know, so people move in and out.
Yeah. And I suppose it is relevant, I suppose, to the size of the town as well. I mean, Cavan has a bigger population, so by and you're seeing Serena, I have it right, haven't I?
Right,
I don't have to check that one. You're saying there that the 4 groups. Why is different time suits different people?
That's it, absolutely. Yes. And I mean, like, before we hit on the number in each session, you know, when you've anything over that 70 mark, you know, it's just the right amount of people to support in group every week, because we speak to every individual member, you know, to motivate them for the week. So I mean, having the morning session and the evening, it's given them to the choice of as well which one suits them the best.
Yes.
You know,
well, it shows that that the demand is there for you know, for the business. So coming back to what I mentioned earlier, if how is it developed out? We'll say through different parts of Ireland. Is it growing as in the next group, or how does someone go about this? In, you know, I know they have to be in Slimmingworld, but what's the procedure if they're in Slimmingworld and they want to develop a group, become a consultant?
Consultant opportunity events,
yes,
and they happen every month. So we would advertise it in group ourselves, you know, if anyone's interested in the role of becoming a consultant, to help people like it has helped themselves in whatever area. With myself in Cavan, one of the members is now a consultant in Mullingar and another one in Longford, that having fantastic
but what sort of work commitments involved for someone, a consultant like yourself or Katrina? Like, what sort of time does it take? What sort of time have you to give to it?
A lot of time.
Right.
You know, because you support your members throughout the week, as well as on the day that you're given group.
Okay.
You know, so, and then to prepare obviously what you're going to be doing in group each week, and whatever's coming up in the next weeks, like as you mentioned beforehand about the Cavan Fla, getting them ready for things like that. They're going to be out having their drink and eating out and things like that, you know.
And when you're in the class, just take us in on exercise. You know, what? How long is it? I didn't ask. How long is the class? Does the class?
An hour.
An hour. Okay.
An hour
and what does? What sort of exercises? Is it exercise? Are you talking about food all the time?
All the time, yeah, and giving you know, the of how to overcome different situations. You know. If it's a Saturday that is difficult for you to manage, that, you know, especially with people with children, you know, they're on the road constantly with maybe music sessions or football sessions, and picking up one and leaving another one off, that it's hard to you know, get the time to eat. So overcoming things like that in group,
right,
you know, and giving themselves that hour to get that.
And Katrina, a healthy eating plan, I'll ask you this one, or to explain, a healthy eating, is there a plan drawn out for in Slimmingworld, or do you have to rigidly stick to it, or is How do people remember, that might be, obviously the week, because to be where they are, when they say week, they have a tendency for snacky foods and that.
Well, members will choose the free foods, will choose what foods they like, and then they will make the meals. They will make the meals out of they will make their meals out of the food that they like. Okay. So we're not telling somebody to eat some food. If some member says to me, I don't like eggs, or I don't want to eat eggs, I'll say, well, that's fine then, don't eat them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's 350 foods there that you can eat. And the important thing at Slimmingworld is too that no food is banned. You can still have your chocolate, you can still have your glass of wine, you can still have your takeaway at the weekend. So there's a wide variety of foods there, but we encourage members to eat the foods that they enjoy, and they're all listed in the books and on the websites.
Okay. And that's it. Well, what more? I don't think there's an awful lot more. There was a wish you continued success in your business, and no doubt when you have that sort of people, that sort of numbers. And I suppose it's a good, whilst it's a bad thing weight-wise, it's a good thing business-wise that there'll always be someone looking, for the service. And I wish you well with the business. I was absolutely blown away when doing the research on it, to realise that there is that many people, that there's, more so that there's not that many people using the service. And whilst there's a lot more, you're probably going to say there's a lot more could use the service. we hope tonight on Cavan TV that you're going to there's been a benefit, because we have a lot of viewers. So ladies, thanks very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you.
And that's the programme. So after the break, stay tuned to Cavan TV for a Green Room special, and that's Paul Cox from one of our earlier presenters. Everybody knows Paul. He interviews John O'Grady at the Olympia Theatre in Dublin, and John, of course, is very well known in the entertainment area. So Paul's interview with John O'Grady comes up right after the Business and Enterprise show. So till next week, Hugh Leddy on saying good evening to you for the Business and Enterprise show. Till next Wednesday evening, Slán Lat.